Hello everyone and welcome back again to the channel, and we'll be continuing this series. It's not the series, just a video of two parts. This is the second part. If you haven't watched the first part, I highly recommend you go ahead and do so, because that is the main part, how we reached till this stage. So what we did in the earlier part, we took torso and converted it, doing some basic sculpting, basic shapes, blocking, and some basic techniques I've shown in that video. So using those things, I reached till this phase that it looks kind of decent. And now what I am doing, and it's gonna be a repeated process, so I'll just tell you once, and later on this what you're seeing right now is 500%, and later on it can be 1000% because it's repeated. So what I'm doing is I am masking out the area which so first of all, forget about that. First of all, you have to decide which part of your robot or that sci-fi asset you want it to be extracted and how detailed you want it to be. So there are two ways. You can go ahead, take this into Maya or some other software where you can retopo. You can also retopo here using ZSphere. There's this retopo method which you can use in ZBrush as well. So that is the cleanest possible way where you can create the sci-fi or hard edge assets. But in my case, I don't want to do that, because why not? So this is what it is. I mask out the area, then I fill the holes of that part. Or what you can do in the further process, I have explained another way to just mask out and polygroup that, then split that part to a different, like I did here. I splitted that part into a different mesh altogether, and then you can polish it out. You can Z-remesh first. Once you split that mesh from the main mesh, you can close hole on both meshes. Inside the geometry, you can find close holes. Once you close the holes, you can go ahead with your polishing. By polish, I mean whatever you want to do. You want to do the remesh first, then you go ahead and crease the areas. You want to add some nice creasing paint and use your edge polish, whatever you want. You just have to break that part into smaller parts. Right now what I have is a big blob of mesh of that torso. So that doesn't work. You cannot polish in the intricate areas, those smaller areas, as well as it won't look good. Your loops won't be proper in this case because it's a hard surface model. So for hard surface, it's better to divide into parts. Like what I'm doing here, I'm masking the front part. What I want it to be a single piece. It's gonna be a separate sub tool. So for that, I just mask out that, I polygroup that, and then I split head in it, and then I Z-remesh it, close the hole behind, because why not? Why to leave holes? And once that is done, I have this separate piece with me. Then I go ahead and Z-remesh it, and I will get the low poly version of it. Why that? Because it's so easy to manage in low poly. You can make lines straight. You can do whatever you want in low poly. So I have also added the loops as well, because I wanted those crease, I wanted those bevels. So that's one way to do it, and that's how I like to do it. I break out the model in separate pieces. Once you do that, you are good to go. You will get even if you just hit remesh, you will get a pretty decent quality piece. You won't be having any jagged lines or anything else. So that's there. So I'll do this process again and again, and I would request you to just watch it. There is no point of me talking here. So just watch it and try to understand what I'm doing. So it's nothing, just I mask it out, I polygroup it, I separate that polygroup from the main object into a different mesh, and then I z-remesh that object because I want that object to be properly shaped. And then the area which I have extracted this mesh from, I just close that area. Then I polish that using my, after z-remesh I put a couple of subdivision, I can polish, I can do whatever I want. So I have a separate piece. So that's one way to do it, and which is one of the fastest way. So if you want to do it, you can go ahead and try it. So this process, since I have a lot of parts and pieces, I will be repeating this process further. So I request you to watch it and let me know if you have any doubts or anything else. I have a Discord open, I have comments open. So I really appreciate if you like this because it will help me reach this video to those who actually want to see it. Anyways, that's out of the way. Let's look at this and yeah, you guys have fun. So I hope you like the fastest time lapse ever. So what I'm doing is I have created, or you can say, this is a part where you can also go ahead and kit bash. You can create several objects, small pieces, whatever you want, and you can insert them into your model, which will give your model a little complex look in sci-fi or anything in concepting stage. If this is what you want, this is your model, you are creating a concept idea out of your head, you can go ahead and populate that model with these little pieces, and like I have used those pistons, also these kind of, I don't know, random objects, but they look good, so why not? So I had few of them ready, and then I am just using them here and there, just placing them on wherever I want. I see that wherever it looks good, I just place it. Make sure you don't overpopulate it, because it shouldn't look too noisy as well. Even if it's just screw or something as small as this one, if you overpopulate it, it's gonna leave those resting areas. It will fill your resting areas. What is resting areas? Your eyes take a rest when you look at anything. So in this case, like whatever the case, in any sci-fi case, if you overpopulate it, I have seen a lot of artworks where people just go crazy and they don't they don't give any breathing room to the audience. Then it becomes a little bit uncomfortable, but you have to find a good balance. So that's why I have just kept, at this moment, I have kept most of the areas plain, solid plain, and flat kind of. I'm not putting so much details. I will put it, and it comes every stage by stage. My mesh placement stage is done. What you're seeing right now is I'm adding alphas. I have few screw alphas and small alphas which you can use. Take your standard brush and move down the focal shift and use it on a drag, or drag direct, just place on every part of the model. But remember the balance is important. Also, I'm using RAM brush, which you can find under Lightbox. I have told this many times, I like that brush, and for hard surface to create small creases, it's pretty good. Small lines, indents, small sharp lines, it's pretty good. So right now the placement for screws is happening. Collect the alphas if you like doing hard surface. Make a library of your alphas, and then it will be easier in the future as well to use them. Also, you need to have a good PC, because this model is a little bit on over 14 million, because a lot of objects, and these the more detail you give, the smaller detail you give, it needs a lot of polygons. So for that reason, you need to subdivide it many times, and I have a lot of parts which is subdivided further, so that's why it eats a lot of memory. Also, it is resource heavy. I'm sorry if your PC is slow or you are using a potato PC, it's gonna suck. I have plenty of alphas which I can use. It's interesting ones. Some of them are very interesting, and I have, if you notice, I have kept a lot of areas a little bit blankish, you can say that, but it's not completely empty. I have few details here and there, but not like everything is over populated with alphas or creases or whatnot. Yeah, make sure you stay till the end of this video because I am also I have shown the presentation part as well, where I have taken this model into Marmoset toolbag and we have done some lighting as well as the material things. Yeah, different kind of materials, colors, lighting, etc. So make sure you watch that as well. It might give you an idea of how to present your model. So for that you need to make it low poly. By low poly I mean you have to make it and you have to decimate it on a higher count, maybe on 5%, 10% to 15%. Don't make it above 15% because Marmoset toolbag is a low poly rendering software, but it can and even Unreal can handle your high poly works. But I would suggest don't stress your PC too much on such hard surface stuff, because hard surface can look good even in 10% decimation as well. I mean, you leave the 10% polygon overall. Just giving up some of the final touches here and there, trying to find something, looking at several references. When I see them, there are so many lines, so many details, but since it's my model, I just wanted it to be not so simple, not so complex that you don't even look at one thing. You have to look everywhere for that, and you don't understand what is going on. I don't want it to be in that way. You have to give it a try. I mean, it's all about trial and error. You have to try out different kind of alphas and different kind of placement, different kind of intensities, different kind of sizes. So all of this, it's all about trial and error. In this case, if you are creating any kind of concept, if you're creating any kind of creatures as well, even if you're doing any organic modeling. So how did I do that? I placed an alpha and it didn't projected on the back side of the surface. The surface is low, I mean small or thin, like this fin that you're seeing. If you drag any alpha on that, it's gonna reflect on the back side as well. So all you have to do is go into modify and in masking, and you can just in the brushes, in masking and in auto masking, you have the back face. Turn that on and it will avoid that back face projection of any kind of brush. Simple shapes simple shapes works best. So once you are happy with the model, start decimating it. It can take some time. It depends on the PC that you're using. For me, if it's more than 2 million, it takes more than 30 seconds. And if it's less than 2 million, it's pretty quick. So yeah, after you complete all the details, after all those alpha works, all those polishing, you are happy with the model. You can decimate all of them. You can merge them into one model. How do you merge them? If you go into subtools, you have the merge visible button. if you click on merge visible button, it's gonna append as an extra subtool. You go ahead and export that as an OBJ and import that into Marmoset toolbag. Let's do that, and I will see you in the Marmoset toolbag. Yo, we are here in Marmoset toolbag, and I am setting up a base material which is applied all over that. So I already have the different parts, so I can simply drag and drop by duplicating that material or creating another material. You don't need to have any UVs for that, because these are simply just solid colors. These are just colors with the metallic or reflective properties. So I'll just do that. I took another material, I have applied that, giving a different tint to create an accent of different pieces. So that's why the extraction of pieces is important. If you had one, then it's gonna be applied all over that surface. Just for HD or high poly render, you can do that. Just have one material, and in grayscale or in a clay render, you can render it out. But for this one, I want it to have a finished piece, so that's why separate pieces and separate colors. You can just simply go ahead and duplicate one material or create new and change this metallic and reflective properties. You will get a nice result. So first I decided to go with the yellow color, but it was not going well with the model. It's not a bumblebee, so I removed that and gave it a red tint, and it looks pretty good. So for lighting, just create and take any sky, have it on a little medium brightness, not too low, not too high, because you want to use your own lights as well. So to do that, I create another light and put it on the back side. That will add as a rim light, and your sky will act as a ambient light. So I'm just adding my rim light, trying to get that rim out of that object, that silhouette. And there we have a little fill light, which is gonna fill from the other end of our scene. So I kept it white, both white, because any other color was not making it look good. It was not complementary. Even I added yellow and blue, but white works best in this case. So yeah, both of the lights are here. So it's not a 3-point light, it's just a 2-point light setup, because we already have the ambient light or the environment set up. So I just added that these two lights, and these works well. I have enough lights, and you will get the idea once you turn on the ray trace button from your render settings. So as soon as you turn on the ray trace button, it's gonna completely change the way it looks, because now Marmoset have a brilliant ray trace. And also if you have a RTX card, it's gonna complement even better. So again, I'm trying to play with different kind of lights, different kind of sky domes. Once you have that ready, you can go ahead with the final render. Make sure you crank up a little bit of your settings, and make sure you cross check if that complements your PC performance as well. Then you go ahead and do that, and here we are almost done with the presentation part as well. Looks pretty rad, I know. So this is the final image. Enjoy, and I will see you in the next one.